Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the Driftmotion short throw shifter. I picked this up a few weeks ago. I like the concept behind it. All of you know that have the R154 transmission, whether it's in a Supra, a Soarer, whatever it's in, you know that this throw is pretty far. It almost feels like you're driving a semi-truck. So the geniuses over at Driftmotion came up with this cool design, and I'm going to show you this cool little detail here. I don't know if you can see that, but it says DM etched in there. This cool design of a short throw, not only in the actual throw itself, but also in height. And I got this black shift knob a while back, also from Driftmotion. They have really good products at a really reasonable price. So decided I'd pick one up, take this sucker off, show you the threads. I have the bezel removed, as you can see, just for the purpose of making things easier. Let's see here if we can get this thing off. There's about 1.5 inches of thread that this knob goes into, so we'll take this off here. Alright, so you can see that it's probably about 2 inches here of thread. Now, they do say that you can hack it a little bit to make it, your shift knob sit a little lower, which is kind of cool, but I'm not really a fan of cutting stuff up, so that's just me. You absolutely should use this rubber boot here. One, it's going to protect you from any debris that might be flying up that's coming through the tranny tunnel here, but most of all, primarily, it keeps the heat out. So without this boot that you have here, you all should have one of these. If not, you could probably pick one up at the junkyard, or I don't know, maybe the dealer, if they still have this pattern here. But there is so much heat that comes up from the tranny tunnel here, and if you live anywhere in an area like where I live, Southern California, it gets pretty hot at times, and you're gonna find that you've got so much heat that is coming up from here that honestly it just burns your hand. And forget using a metal or aluminum style shift knob. Without this, it's going to make this so hot you could probably have a hard time touching it. I have a hard time touching this one here, and I think this is some sort of resin, some sort of plastic. I don't know the exact name to it. Maybe some of you know. Delrin, maybe that's what it is. But anyways, coming back to the short shifter, maybe you can see a little better. The DM etched in there. It's kind of cool. And it comes with this shift boot here. This is going to keep out the dust and oil that may come back out from the actual tranny itself. Now, I do have these screwed down pretty much to the max, but even though it's rubber on this smooth metal here, should still be able to come off here, and I'll show you that. I should unscrew it, yes I know. However, I don't have the tool at the moment, so we will just slide this guy up so you can see what it looks like here. Here we go. So, shift boot, rubber boot. It actually comes with the kit when you buy it. All this comes together. It's really cool that they included this piece in there. And here is the actual shifter itself. Now, it does come with another ring that's on there. As you can see that there is a rubber O-ring that goes around, and that actually sits on the bottom of this area here, and it seals out any oil that may possibly try and come up. Now I'm just going to unscrew these here so you can see what this looks like. Oh, before I do that, let's show you the throw. Okay, without the shift knob. Right now I'm in neutral. Okay, so that's first. Second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. So as you can see, this throw is very, very minimal. And I have this on the shortest throw setting. Not as in height. Again, as in the throw. This pivot point that's in here. You can adjust this to a short, a medium, and probably somewhere around stock. So we'll go ahead and put this back into neutral here. So again, that's at the lowest or shortest setting that we have. Now, with it being at its lowest setting, it is a little stiffer to get into gear, because for me, I'm just not used to that short throw being so close. So kind of tend to not engage it properly. But again, that's just me, and it's going to take some time getting used to. Get all these screws out here, and I'll show you what this looks like here on the bottom. Alright, so got this out. We have the marlin crawler little bushing in there, as well as the marlin crawler one here. Now let's see here if I can take this up. So here's the piece that goes right up on top. As you can see, there's this metal plate along with this sort of spacer. I'm not sure exactly what the name of this guy is. Maybe some of you know, but it's needed, part of this. And then this is what it looks like. Super cool design, really cool. Now, as you can see, it is threaded all the way through. There's a couple hex bolts that are in there. We'll talk about that in just a sec. But again, it's threaded all the way through. And this is going to be the point that you adjust to make it a short throw, a medium throw, or a standard throw. So right now I have it all the way at the top. It's hard to see, but right underneath that ball, directly under that ball, there is a line. And then maybe a 1/4 inch down more is another line. I don't know if the camera can pick that one up as well, but again, this is the lowest setting. If I drop that one line, then it's going to be at the medium setting, and bring it all the way down, it will go to the somewhat of a stock setting. And again, it's got the little groove there, which fits all the way down. We'll put this right in here so you can see what it looks like. Alright, so that's how it sits. And some of you might be wondering what the bottom of this thing looks like. I'm trying to tip it over here without getting too much tranny fluid, grease, oil. Alright, so bottom side also has a rubber gasket O-ring. You can see that. So again, just the presence of this gasket here slides right into this hole, and again allows for a seal. As you can see, I don't have any oil or residue or anything running down the sides of it like some other short throw shifters that are out there. So again, that's another reason why I chose the Driftmotion short throw shifter versus some of the others that are out there. You know which ones they are. That same rubber gasket is also here, and you can stack them to adjust the height, like I was saying. But since the setting that I have, I remove this little spacer here, put that on. I really recommend using the Marlin Crawler bushings. It makes for a lot stiffer shift. There's not a lot of play. Here's a stock R154 shifter. You can see this one's pretty beat up, pretty bad, but I have the Marlin Crawler one on this one as well. Let's see if we can do a comparison here of the throw, if I can get this guy in here. Let's see here, this way. Alright, so there we go. So as you can automatically see right off the bat, that it's got a lot of play to it. Even though it's not bolted down, I'm still holding it very firmly in place, but there's still a lot of play. And this is what you see when you're driving. You always see your shifter kind of moving around, bouncing around. So again, we're in neutral. I'll show you the difference. See how far that is? There's first, second. See, second is way back here. Third, fourth, fifth. Holy cow. It's out here, right? And reverse is in there somewhere, but I think I just lost the point here on the inside. Here, let's try this again. There we go. Reverse. See? So your passenger can probably shift it. So again, that's the stock compared to, you know, this short throw from Driftmotion. I think is a great deal, and I think he's got them listed somewhere around $299, which I think is an excellent price for this this piece here. See if we can kind of get a little closer, see some detail on here. Again, excellent item. Most of the things that I buy from this company have been just top notch. Again, there's that cool little Driftmotion there. And again, if you're one of those types that still feel that this is kind of sitting up too high, you can always cut off some of the threads. Don't take off too much, because you take off too much, then you know there's no going back, basically. Second thing I wanted to talk about was the transmission upgrade that they offer. Now I got the fully built transmission kind of package that they offer. I think they have it listed maybe somewhere around, I don't know, maybe it's $1,400 or maybe somewhere around there. But you fully get the transmission rebuilt from top to bottom. It's everything on the inside, all the synchros, the forks, everything is top notch. Whether the parts be installed or the guy actually installing them, or the parts that are actually being made by Driftmotion, everything was done very, very well. We recommend using MT-90 for the first 500 miles as a break-in, which I've only got a few miles on here since then. So 500 miles, I'll go ahead and change it out, inspect it. I'm pretty confident that everything's going to be looking really good. And I don't know, I like the Redline. It feels real good in the transmission, and I'll probably continue to use it. But for me, I think I'm going to adjust these hex screws and drop it down to the next line and see how that shifting goes for me. See if I like that a little bit more. But again, at the lowest setting, it is great. It may take a little bit more time getting used to, or maybe than what you're used to. And I really recommend using that shift boot. Not the one that it comes with. Not this one. You're definitely going to want to use this one. But this one here. And get that back on there, because again, there's so much heat that generates from underneath the tranny tunnel, and that funnels right up, and it's right here at your hand. It would be really cool if somebody knew of an option that I can incorporate this, and instead of this hole being as big, kind of have it a little smaller. Or you can tell the stock shifter solved that problem. It was thicker than this piece here, so it felt that gap, and you don't have the heat coming directly out from here, because once the heat starts coming directly out from here, it's going directly to your shift knob. And again, if you have one of these metal shift knobs, if you live in a hot area, you're going to burn your hand, guaranteed. So all in all, excellent products, excellent service. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. If anybody out there has a blue cloth shift boot, let me know. I've been looking for one for quite a while. Seems to be every other color out there, but I can't seem to find a decent blue one. So if that's you and you got it, let me know. Thanks a lot. We'll see ya.